Welcome YouTube to my next Let's Play, which is going to be Let's Play Neverwinter Nights. This is a very good, though somewhat old game, based on Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition rules, and it's now only possible because now I can upload videos over 15 minutes, so my gaming sessions aren't going to be limited in that way. It is a role-playing game, and I would like you, the viewers, to suggest what you'd like to maybe see in the game, see what my character would want to do. But I, as a player, sometimes have trouble playing to what my character really thinks, because I've found out that my alignment is something close to lawful neutral, and the character I want to play will be chaotic neutral, and she'll be very free in what she's going to be doing with her actions. I am going to play a female character, simply to try and decrease the way that I can relate to the thought process. So we may as well begin by starting a new game. We're going to start just at the prelude, creating a new character. So the gender, as I said, is going to be female, and it says females of the realms can excel in any field, or I think field of endeavour, from scholarly pursuits to the arts of war. A lot of games says that, like, female alternatives to males, they're all exactly the same, because some people are quite sexist in games. She's going to be an elf, and the favoured class is wizard. She will be a wizard. I simply like being elves. I generally shy away from things like dwarves or half-orcs and halflings. Usually I like to go for either human, elf, or gnome. Gnome could possibly be more favourable, but I would prefer to do an elf for this Let's Play. Naturally, they recommend humans because they are good at any class, but we're going to go for elf. For the portrait, I've already chosen it's going to be this one. Simply because perhaps it represents her well. I don't really like many of these other ones. Like, why would you want that as your picture? That's what you're going to have to see all game. So we're going to see this all game instead. Class, down here, wizard. I think they recommend fighter, but we want wizard. Alignment, as I said, is going to be chaotic neutral. You can pause the game and read this if you're not familiar with the alignments of Dungeons and Dragons, about their two components, the lawful versus chaotic and good versus evil. So she's chaotic and neutral. As for her abilities, I prepared some ability scores and where we're going to be putting the points. So I think it was going to be this setup. Naturally I could drop some of these points and put them in some other ones, but I would prefer for her intelligence and charisma to be high, because intelligence determines her ability to cast spells, which is kind of crucial. Naturally weak because she's a wizard, but she's not really going to be doing any physical hits. If she's going to use any weapon, it would probably be a ranged one, or she'll simply carry a staff. Dexterity is actually quite low, but I don't think she really needs that as much. I could drop the wisdom and boost the dexterity one. I think I could do that, but she is sort of more intelligent and wise than she is dexterous. So we're going to go with this. Charisma just helps with persuading, and constitution determines hardiness. As for packages, we're not going to trust any of these, so we're just going to configure our own. We want 4 points in concentration, 4 points in law. The class skills are what you should normally aim to increase, so we definitely want concentration, law, and spellcraft to be 4. Also we want spot, search, persuade, and discipline. Discipline will allow her to resist combat maneuvers, because if she gets knocked down with such little health, she'll be killed fairly quickly. And all of these and the other ones, like Open Locker, move silently. She can just leave to her familiar, which we will see in a moment. You have a list of feats. This is what she gets from being both a wizard and an elf. These various things, including summoning a familiar. And I'm not sure how many levels it is until you can choose more feats. It might be every 3 or something. But I think we're going to start with combat casting, which means that she doesn't suffer the concentration penalty whenever she's near enemies. Concentration determines whether she can pull off the spell or not. She's a conjurer, which means that she's much more strong at summoning creatures to assist her and things like that. However, her prohibited skill will be transmutation, which means that she cannot transform herself or the target or the environment very much. So those two are opposite skills, but we're going to go with conjuration. As for the first spells, I think we wanted Charm Person, Identify, Ray of Enfeeblement, what was it? Endure Elements, Colour Spray, and Negative Energy Ray. Because I actually know that we are given a few spells at the start, and there's no point in like choosing Magic Missile or Summon Creature 1. I believe we're given those. So we're going to go with those. I might quickly explain how wizards work. You have various spell levels. You start obviously with the 4 cantrips, which is Daze, Light, Ray of Frost and Resistance. And then the spells go up in levels, and you have a certain amount of spell slots, as you can see. What it says here, it goes up to 9th level spells, and for every 2 levels you gain, you unlock the next spell level, and as you go up levels you get more and more slots to use, and all spells need to be predetermined. You put them in the spellbook and then rest, and then they're saved into the memory, as opposed to sorcerers, who are based on charisma, and they just know a bunch of spells and they can just cast whatever ones they want a certain number of times per level. Familiar is going to be Fae or Pixie, as you can see here, neutral good but a rogue, and essentially I found that she'll probably be in need of a familiar rogue to help her unlock things and remove traps, and the name is going to be Era. No particular reason, I just like this name. I remember once we were just generating names and I saw Era and I really liked it, so we don't really want that, we want Era. Okay. As for the last customization, I think we found that this hair was good. I didn't like that we couldn't rotate the character to see what it looked like from the back, but none of these other things seem very like what she'll be. She doesn't really have any tattoos. Just remove them. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. She can either be fat or thin. I think we'll just have her be thin for now. As for clothing, she'll favour these for now. I think we're going to get rid of them straight away as soon as the tutorial begins. I think we'll just we'll have a slightly darker skin colour. Yes, should be this one. I've prepared what she'll look like beforehand, so you won't have to wonder. And of course, she has dark red hair. I really like the colour red, and her theme is essentially red. And we don't need to bother with tattoo
At my command, attack!
So these are the voice sets, and I've discovered that female seductress.
Step up to the fight. Bring them down. I hope you like pain. I'll put you in your place. I always get my way.
That will be what she will sound like whenever she's giving commands to the party. She's not going to be Unia Shezin, she's going to be Rose Vilethorn. She is 90, which is actually quite young for an elf, and she follows the deity of Shah. And I'm just going to fill in this description of her to help you get a better idea of who she really is and how she looks at other people. So I'll just type it now. Okay, that is going to be her description, and once we select OK, she's ready to go. One thing that I will give a warning of is that for some reason in my game I cannot see the intro movies or anything like that. I can hear the sound, but I can't actually see the visuals. You can just see a loading screen. So I am unfortunately going to have to skip over it because I won't subject you to those. However, I may link you to some other videos that may contain those videos because I feel kind of bad about it. But there's nothing that I can really do. I've tried patching the game and it doesn't seem to be working. So that is character creation complete.
The Frozen North.
And here we are with Rose Vilethorn.